Hi everybody, you've come back to Polona Gagarina and Mans Zelmerlo, who met in 2015 in the Eurovision Song Contest. And Mans won that particular contest that year with Heroes, that we're all familiar with here in Europe. And Polona Gagarina came second. Now, when it comes to two artists being chosen, one is Swedish, Mans, one is from Russia. Why were they chosen to sing together? Because the song has significance, that's why. It's called Circles and Squares. And I'll give you just the bio on the song itself. Mans Zelmerlo and Polona Gagarina, the duet of the contestants of that Eurovision 2015, was chosen for Circles and Squares, the official song for the ISU World Figure Skating Championships of 2021. Now, the ISU World Figure Championships is an annual event that moves around the globe, attracting more than 300 million television viewers worldwide and showcasing the 200 best athletes from 50 countries and 4 disciplines: ladies, men, pair skating and ice dance. And the best figure skaters from around the world came to Stockholm in 2021 to compete, which led to the pre-Olympics and the Olympics itself, ice skating championships, which was held in 2022. Circles and Squares was created and recorded especially for the 2021 ISU World Figure Championships at Argel Bargel Studios in Stockholm, Sweden. And Mans is Swedish, and he obviously thought of Polina, and lo and behold, came together, and the two of them created this wonderful song. And the video images are quite intriguing as well. I love ice skating, and many years ago, I favored Jason Brown from America. He was a young guy. And if you want to check something out spectacular on YouTube as regards ice skating, check out Jason Brown doing river dance. That's all I'm going to say. And watch a spectacular treat. Unbelievable ice skating. So he was my favorite a couple of years ago, and then I lost touch because I was developing my music channel. So I'm going to get back into a bit of Eurovision, a bit of ice skating, because I like both of them, with two people I adore musically. Now let's go back into a little bit of bio on one. We all know Mans for being a Swedish pop singer, songwriter, television presenter, and a belated congratulations, he's also become a family man. I don't know if it was a boy or girl, but congratulations anyway. And Heroes was the song that launched him in everybody's eyes in Eurovision in Stockholm, and he's just incredible singer. Polina came second, and she is a Russian singer and songwriter who represented her country in 2015 with A Million Voices. And those Eurovision lovers will remember the dress that lit up and was just incredible. And she became the first second place finisher to exceed 300 points in that competition. She also participated in a Chinese reality competition, Singer, in 2019, where she was one of the finalists. And she was the 10th highest Russian earner on Instagram and YouTube of 2021, with a net revenue of about $6 million from 8.9 million subscribers. So she's gone on to do extraordinary things because she is an extraordinary singer. We get into the song itself, as you're going to hear two fabulous singers singing this. We shall enjoy, and I shall do the lyrics straight after. Excuse me today. Oh. No. Oh.
Circles and squares, that's you and I. Hurts then we pass, I don't know why. But unlike what we are, poetry in scars, let me fall apart, then fall into your arms. Doesn't matter if I get you out of my head and call me up, say you can keep me
Sorry for the interference, I'll fix it now.
If I think we're getting
There you go.
somewhere out of nowhere, doesn't matter if I get you out of my head. Call me up, say you can't keep me off your mind. Every time that I think we're getting somewhere out of nowhere, hit rewind. Always in drive, that you and I, headlight to headlight till we collide. But I like what we are, poetry and scars, let you fall apart, then right back to the start. Doesn't matter if I get you out of my head. Call me up, say you can't keep me off your mind. Doesn't matter if I think we're getting somewhere out of nowhere. Doesn't matter if I get you out of my head. Call me up, say you can't keep me off your mind. Every time that I think we're getting somewhere out of nowhere, hit rewind, hit rewind, hit rewind, hit circles and squares, that's you and I.
So that was Circles and Squares. Happy-go-lucky, melodic kind of tune. And it's almost got a Christmassy feel. You can almost hear it here in Ireland in one of the supermarket places sometime. It's just so soothing, and it's what we need more of. Let's get into the lyrics. Sorry about the lights, as I said, on my camera, but that's just how it is. It's like a vintage wine. It ages and it colours, and then it goes back to being the original, and then it, I don't know, but I don't think it'll detract. But if I keep talking, it will. But let's go into verse 1. Circles and squares, it's you and I, hurts then repairs. I don't know why. Straight away what I got from Circles and Squares was, it's two people, they meet. It's a situation, a story that we see in the video that's a lot of people can relate to. You can go to the gym, you can go to college, go to work, you know somebody, you constantly see them, you have interests, you are looking at each other in a certain way. Each of you are encouraging each other to do things, like to make the first move. I mean, obviously in the video you see Polina looking, but she's not going to act on it. She's too ladylike. And then you've got Mans, who plays the male character in the video, and he's looking, but he's not acting on it. And you wonder why. And it's like the circle and square situation. It just, if you want it to fit, but it doesn't fit because of personalities. So therefore it continues, but I like what we are, poetries and scars, let me fall apart, I'm falling into your arms. So at the moment, the excitement of looking at each other, going to a place, working out, in this situation, ice skating, and doing the routine, as we see Polina touching her skates when she leaves, she takes her bag casually. She's leaving her heart behind in a place, because it's a place now she smiles at when she comes to skate, because he's there. And then you've got Mans, who's obviously one of the workers, but he can also, you know, one of the people there that's come across this young aspiring skater, and from afar he just finds her captivating. But maybe he finds her, you know, the circle and square situation where she's going on to be a skater, I'm just a janitor in this place. It's not going to work. And yet the attraction's there, and they're just ready to fall into each other's arms. So the chorus says, doesn't matter if I get you out of my head, you call me up. So they must be in contact at this stage. So it must be a case where they have exchanged numbers, there has been a bit of communication. Say you can't keep me off your mind. So it's obviously Hans is saying to Polina, hey, in his character role, I can't stop thinking about you. And how many times does that happen at work, everybody? Or in a gym situation, you exchange numbers and straight away within 2 minutes you're checking your phone to see if they've texted. I'm not like that, I have to say. I couldn't care if they text or not. It's just one of those things that I've never done. I've never really exchanged numbers. I'm somebody you can speak to, but that's it. And then I'm very reclusive in many ways, and I tend just to back off and just, it's nice to talk to you, have a coffee with you, you know, but that's it. I'm one of those people. But it continues, doesn't matter, I think if we're getting somewhere, I don't know, hey, doesn't matter if I get you out of my head, you call me up. So therefore there's a development in this. So therefore you wonder, Hans in the video, what's he up to? He's there and he sees her there working out at his place of work, and he's calling her and he's doing things, but he's not going down to her, hugging her. But in his mind he's on the ice and he's just as good as her, and he's whirling her around and holding her up to the world. That's what that's symbolic of when he's on the ice and they're doing the moves. But in reality he's just sweeping the floors because that's where he works. And that is the reality of many relationships and situations that people find themselves in. It says, you can't keep me off your mind. Every time I think we're getting somewhere, I don't know where. It goes back to the beginning when they first met and they looked at each other. So it always goes back to that. It is the circle and square situation. And Polina sings always in drive, that's you, and I head to the headlight till we collide. Like the rabbit caught in the headlights. I see you looking at me, giving all those beautiful moments of looks and smiles, but there's no physicality in this relationship. It's all texts, looks, words. There's no actions, there's no movement to make it real, because I think he just thinks she's like the starlet and he's just the ordinary guy. It continues, doesn't matter if I get you out of my head, you call me up. So it continues, say you can't keep me off your mind. Doesn't matter if I think we're getting somewhere, I don't know where. It doesn't matter, you call me up. So there's a repeat process all the time. As soon as she leaves and he's seen her again, he calls her, nice to see you, you're looking well. How boring is that? Be a man. You have a genital area for a reason. Put them in your hand and walk forward and do something about this situation, because otherwise she'll stop going to a place where she sees you. That's what will happen in these situations. You stop going to places, you think, I can't cope with this, nothing is happening, so I'll move venue, I'll go to a different place. And the hit rewind button's on for him, but she might just walk away. And it continues here in the chorus, hit rewind, circles and squares, it's you and I as they dance around, hit rewind, and you see them spinning on the ice, but that's symbolic as well of how out of control the emotions are with the two of them. And then they hit rewind again, where in his mind he's skating around with her and he's back and she's falling in his arms and she's waiting for that moment. She on the other hand is waiting for that, the physical now, the touch, the feel, the hug, the kiss, all of it. As it says, circles and squares, it's you and I. It's just how it is in some relationships. You don't always get the man, and the man doesn't always get the woman, and the woman doesn't get the woman, and the man doesn't get the man. Sometimes that's just life, everybody. So until the next one, thank you, Polina, and thank you, Mans, for a great video. It was uplifting.